everyone. Hello and welcome to this session. Please let me know if I am properly audible and visible to all of you. If everything is good to go. For those who are watching me for the first time, I'm Niharika John Mehra, faculty of English here, and I have regular classes for you guys on YouTube. I have been teaching English for more than 10 years, so I have a lot to offer to you guys. Now, my classes on our main channel, CGB Mentors. We have, first of all, a superb series going on of editorial analysis. That's 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So you are all booked at this time slot to learn vocabulary, grammar, skimming, and some practice which will help us prepare for exam. Now, apart from this, we have afternoon sessions 1:30 p.m. On this channel, I have classes Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Currently, we are doing CSAT questions there. And on this channel, the classes are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. 1:30 p.m. means a level practice we are doing, but we will soon be switching to some other topic as, of course, the exam is going to get over. But make sure that you are here regularly and also on our main channel, because some of the other thing is gonna be there that will be helpful and beneficial to you all. Okay, so a consistent practice, a consistency is super. If you can follow, it's super important, and that will help you. Okay, we will start with doing an RC. So it is just one slide RC. I would recommend you to keep your screens on full screen mode. Okay, there is a correction that I will let you know later. Okay, there is a grammatical correction in this. Just now I spotted it, so I'll let you know that. There is none of the above. I will explain all the answers together. We have just three questions from this. So please first you do all the three questions back to back, and then I'll explain. Answer to this one is only the third one. Next one. Okay, there you go. Now, first we'll understand this passage and the questions and answers, and we'll move. One thing that I wanted to point out here was uh, we don't use the word sheeps, okay? Standard, there is no plural of this word. So even if you want to talk about 100 of them, you are gonna say sheep. There is no form sheeps in formal English, and you need to avoid this. Please make sure in exam you don't do this. This is of course informal passage and randomly taken from a site, so you just ignore sheeps the word, okay? Fine. Now, why sheeps were chosen for the study by the researchers? Adapting to seasonal changes is crucial for survival. Many animals migrate, grow winter coat, adjust body temperatures to cope up. Recently, researchers from wherever found a biological switch may be playing a major role. The study shows how brains of mammals respond to changes in day lengths. Researchers studied sheep brain tissue across time to understand activity of different genes. Okay, one of the reason was to understand this brain part, brains of mammals. They point to a gene which helps in synchronizing their rhythms of life to seasonal habitats. This gene has also been reported in other reptiles, birds. According to the researchers, results constitute a blueprint of circadian based seasonal timekeeping. Explaining the work, professor from the Central Center for Biological Timing who led the team studied how sheep adapt to seasonal change, said in a release that genetic flip flop timer उनका जो भी है is key to functions such as fertility, etc. We speculate the genetic timer is likely to be fundamental. Main thing was, my question was ki why sheep were chosen? Why not anyone else? What any other animal? The sheep are the most abundant. There is no comment about they are found in lot of numbers. No, sheep possess most visible changes during winter. It's an extreme option, plus we don't get that kind of comparison. Okay, so no. Then, as only the sheep contain this gene, no, this gene is also found in other animals. Okay, this gene is also been reported in birds and reptiles. So none of the above answer iska tha. Next question was the main theme. Now quickly we'll see another last para, because main theme has to be from the whole passage. You cannot answer main theme just by reading first para, because there are 3 paras in this passage. Please read completely before you answer. The Professor Simon from whatever university, who was one of the researchers, added, fluctuations in hormones and behaviors are part of a delicate biological orchestra that is crucial to life. Many animals depend on seasonal change in their biology to survive, and our findings are crucial. So, they are just giving statements of the finding. Survival challenges for animals? No, they are doing this study to figure out survival challenges in general. So, first is not the theme. Weather change and its effects on animals? No, it's the other way around. Weather change may how they are surviving and not just the animals. Adoption to seasonal changes is in the genes. So they are studying the genes right from the first paragraph. Then they are again commenting on what all they have found based on the study of genes. So definitely answer third tha yahan pe. And this clearly has the tone which is informative. You are getting a lot of information about genes and seasonal changes, etc. Anything which is laudatory is praiseworthy. So it's a good work which has happened here, but it is not something our author is praising. Wow, what a breakthrough we had. Cynical is negative, lots of negativity not present here. Skeptical, there is a doubt in the mind of author. Maybe he is not sure of such an experiment, such a research. तब ये सही tone होती, but in this case it is informative. Okay, so now this is a different type of question. I'll explain what you're supposed to do. You have A, B, C, D, E. There are spots, okay, and there is a sentence. It has allowed 3 days for the city and neighboring districts to prepare. You have to figure out where should I use this sentence in the passage. Okay, so this is para completion, but you have 5 blanks and only in one of the place you can use this sentence. If you think, let's say, if you think your sentence fits here, okay, at this location, so your answer is this option B, that refers to A. Okay, so nicely, carefully do this question. Start doing it. Answer is B. This is a very easy one because it has a pronoun. It has allowed, so there should be someone with the power to allow. 3 days for city and neighboring districts to prepare. So, क्या prepare हो रहा है? Who is the one allowing? If I have these answers, then I can use this sentence. So, the Tamil Nadu government's decision to impose a complete lockdown and parts of neighboring districts is a response to rising apprehension that coronavirus pandemic has spun out of control. The government has done well to learn some lessons from the previous episode, which led to crowding for the purchase of essentials. Yet it is the preventable. Yet अभी contrast introduce कर रहा है. So it is the preventable ballooning of cases, increase in cases. So it has allowed 3 days for the city and neighboring districts to prepare. Okay. So because the government has learned from the previous lockdown, now it is giving 3 days. It has allowed. So it is used for the word government, and it has allowed this much of time for the places to prepare, yet it is the preventable ballooning of cases that has necessitated a fresh lockdown now. Okay. Highlighting the desultory approaches to infection prevention with some determination and steps such as whatever public could have been nudged into healthy behavior. So rest of the part, from prevention part to some of the determination, things are flowing very nicely. Yet if there is nothing here, at point B, then this yet makes no sense, and hence this sentence fits very well here. You have to complete this statement. A fragment is missing, so go ahead, complete it. Okay. Answer to this one is second and the third one. While most nations tend to view their forests through narrow prism of short-term economic gain, while has two uses as a conjunction. First, to talk about things happening parallelly. Second, to talk about things happening contrast, okay, in contrast. So, both the ways I can use this. Most nations tend to view their forests through narrow prism of short-term economic gain. So they tend to have a specific view. Comma, they actually host massive sink of sequestered carbon. Irrelevant. Climate science data show, while most nations tend to view in a specific manner, climate science data show that they play a larger environmental role. So they narrow prism of short-term gain, but on the other hand, we see that the data is telling that these forests they are of more value. So yes, there is a contrast present. They are a key factor in regulating monsoon. So first part was negative, then we get some importance related to the forest. So that's why second and the third one. Now always remember whenever you are doing any kind of question that has anything to do with a connector or a conjunction, things should be of same standard. Okay, so you cannot go ahead and compare or maybe cause effect relationship, contrast relationship. You cannot use this relationship if something is about a medical field and another thing is about a sport. It has to have some kind of common ground. There has to be some similarity or some standard which is same for both the points, which are in contrast, or which is a reason or an effect of something. So here that again is something that should be considered. Okay. Another type of question, please read what is to be done. Instructions are mentioned clearly here. Answer to this one is all of them. So you have a situation and you have a sentence. You need to see where the situation goes along with the use of a particular idiom. So it is very difficult to make him believe anything since he is known to be a doubting Thomas. That means doesn't believe on something or someone easily. That is, he needs proof and evidence in order to believe anything that comes his way. Yes, that goes with the sense of idiom. It is evident from the way he has behaved that a leopard cannot change its spots. That means a person's nature or character cannot be changed. It is very difficult to change oneself, especially in the old age. Yes, no change. There you go. The task given to the team was a piece of cake. Okay, it was very, very, very easy for them to do. It was very easy for them to complete the task. So the sense of it and the use of that particular idiom was something you were supposed to check. So there you go. This is the next question. Let me explain how you're supposed to do this. This is odd one out question, okay? Just odd one out. Okay. I hope you got the answer. You're talking about this one? Dipti, but it is not mentioned as old age. Moreover, efficiency is not managed. No, 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 no. Please understand this, okay? आपके थोड़े से comment मुझे late आ रहे हैं. So it is evident that he has behaved that a leopard can't change its spots. So this he person is someone who is unable to uh, uh, just incorporate any change in his or her life. Okay, it is very difficult to change oneself, especially in the old age, since it is not possible to change who you are. So in B, you are still talking about unable to change. That is the same thing which is in A part of the second one. Unable to change. Your character remains same, your nature remains same. That's what we are getting, and hence that is a match. Don't use over logic over there, because explanation is given, especially in the old age, since it is not possible to change. Just like a leopard cannot change its character, its spots, how it looks. That's happening over here. Okay. Answer to this one is B. So B was just supposed to figure out the sentence that doesn't belong to the lot, and it says lamenting the fact that caste system was a violation of human rights and still played an important role. He said that people still saw each other through the tinted glass called caste. So caste system को लेकर we still get to see there is a reaction in the society. Awareness should be created at home to wipe out discrimination from society. Okay. Justice Anand addressed the gathering at an inauguration at this course in human rights launched by People's Watch, a city based organization, via video conferencing. So, something happened, something related to a certificate course in human rights that took place, urging people to abide by article. Madras High Court justice said if people forgot their duties, they had no locus standi to talk about rights. So C and D are talking about the rights. Unfortunately, even for formation of governments, caste plays major role, he said. So no doubt C, D, E, here a person is saying something. Even in A, he said. So we are actually only and only talking about what this person has to say. But talking about suddenly that awareness should be created at home, we don't know if this was something this justice said or meant, and hence, based on that, though it is also talking about discrimination rights and all, this is odd one out because one has to be odd one out. Rest four sentences are from the speech that he made that day. Okay, you need to arrange rest four as well. Okay, this time odd one out and arrange the remaining ones. Odd one out and rearrange rest. Hmm. Okay. So EBDC, that means A is odd one out. How? Whenever such a question comes where you have to arrange as well, focus on arranging. Automatically, the odd one will be out. It will be something of the way you are going to make pairs and you are going to bring the pairs together and you won't have any place for the odd one. That's how you know it's an odd one. So, however, the progenies of post colonials under the garb of nationalists stand up against the powers that be only when their fundamental rights and control and the capitalist class are threatened. ये present में है sentence and however है contrast है we will think. However, when met with extraordinary circumstances, the Indian legislature, this is the subject, has made laws that have not only neglected fundamental rights but also contradicted them. Okay, so however, hai, and the sentence is about the Indian legislature. But they have endowed the state, but contrasted, with excess powers to violate constitutionally guaranteed rights. Okay. Often the use of these draconian laws, we know these laws are the laws which are mentioned here, has continued well after the circumstances in which they were created. So B and D are a pair because these say we can understand that the legislature has made laws and these laws के बारे में बात हो रही है. As the second branch of government, the purpose of the legislature is to make laws. Make laws की बात अभी हमने करी B में, that means E is also relevant. E के बाद में we are putting a contrast, introducing a contrast and saying, however, when met with extraordinary circumstances, there is another thing that takes place. So BD as a pair will come after E. ए ऑड है तो सी के लिए जगह नहीं बची, आखिरी में ही आएगा. ओके, सो आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द एसेंस ऑफ दिस वन. नेक्स्ट वन, same thing that you did in the previous question. You have 5 places A, B, C, D, E in the passage. ये sentence कहाँ आएगा? Okay, take some time. Okay, I'm not supposed to give you this much of time for this question, but ठीक है. It's important for me that you guys understand and do it correctly. Accuracy can be is important. Speed can be worked out later on. The business groups remain skeptical. The groups, the के साथ अगर एक plural आया है, we need more context why we are specifying the plural. Okay, remain skeptical about or that the new orders might go. So there has to be something related to new orders beyond the renewal. The US President administration is considering a significant expansion of current visa restrictions. Many of administration's top advisors members had a meeting to discuss a potential order to suspend issuance of visas to several classes of individuals. Definitely A के पास में तो नहीं आएगा because the flow is maintained here and what the administration is doing वो हमें पता चल रहा है. President Trump's suspension of the migration process for 60 days expires on Monday. H1B is the most coveted foreign work visas for technology professionals from India. Such a decision. Now, here, H1B, I know some of you may not know the full form and all of it, but if you have an idea and you see that this is the point where, there is a lot of doubt and they remain doubtful that the new orders might go beyond the renewal, this is the most coveted foreign work visas for technology professionals. Such a decision, now this is over now. Okay, suspension wala part is over. So this the thing of being skeptical is also over. Such a decision is likely to have adverse impact. Already a large number of Indians on H1B visas have lost their jobs. Okay, so you see the meeting is taking place and there is an order in place, and this order is expected to discuss a potential order. Now, this order is related to the suspension of immigration process. After this, we can see because suspension की बात है, that's the reason business groups remain skeptical, and that's how C is the right place to use this sentence. Next one, same type of the thing you did for the previous one. This one is B. So the temperature rise was 3.3 degrees Celsius higher than the average according to the report. So definitely report का नाम पहले आना चाहिए. Okay. So we see increasing temperatures in the tropical area and in frequency in cyclones, etc. were pointed out by assessment report. Okay. Sea surface temperatures in Indian Ocean rose by 1 degree. Now here onwards we have started talking about the data. कितने से कितना बढ़ा. Ocean heat content in the top 700 meters of tropical Indian Ocean also rose in the same period. So what we gonna see is this temperature rise, this rise. So the rise is mentioned that it rose by 1 degree and this rise was 0.3 degree higher than the global average. It makes sense, clear sense that once I'm mentioning the rise in temperature, I'm referring to that again at this point at B and then continuing to talk about it. So this was an easier one and yeah, that's it for today. आपको हमेशा ऐसे ही करना है. You can read the whole paragraph if you're not sure. You can see if I use the sentence at C. It makes no sense if I talk about this temperature because in the previous sentence there is no exact temperature mentioned. The temperature was mentioned over here before B. Then only I can say this rise. That makes sense. Okay. Same goes for D and E. तो वहां पर हमें मिलता नहीं है exactly temperature का reference. This was the only clue you needed to solve at least this question. Okay. So ऐसे ही ध्यान से questions करते रहो. I'm gonna see you guys later. 8 p.m. editorial analysis class on our main channel CGB Mentors. Love to see you guys there. Take care. Bye bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.